Me every Thursday on YouTube for another live show of Let's Talk Photography. We cover the latest news, interviews with today's industry leaders, tips, tricks, lighting, cameras, and the business of photography. My weekly live stream is all about crowd participation. You're encouraged to ask questions, talk about the cool camera gear you've got or the camera gear you want to get. Hell, you could just join our open panel discussion during our Q&A portion of the show. The cost of access to Let's Talk Photography is very, very low. For today only, I'm hosting a very low price of $3.99 to subscribe and press that bell icon to get notifications of my upcoming live streams. Now let's get back to the show.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Photography podcast. Okay, I'm going to hit that sound effect button once or twice because there's one or two people out there that just simply want to remind me how much they hate the sound effects. So I'm not going to do as many, but I am going to do it a few times just to salute those out there. I'm going to do my show the way I do my show. Anywho, so with all that said, as many of you know, I have been kind of MIA for a month now. And I've changed a few things up, being that I relocated on the other side of the country. My client base changed up. I got a couple of projects and I wanted to dedicate a lot more time to those projects. So I just had to pull away from YouTube and streaming and concentrate on, well, paid gigs. So that's just kind of the way things go. I want to be more consistent. And with that said, my streams are going to be more at just an hour. So just to let you know, I'm not going to suck up too much of your time. We're going to be in and out. So this is the first podcast during a new time. Obviously it's Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's like 2 p.m. back in California. I want to see how this works. If I need to go back to the 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, I will do just that as well. I know I've missed, since I've relocated, I've missed a few of my regular stream viewers because of my time difference and all this stuff. It's been kind of crazy trying to honestly readjust to not only a new market, new time zone, new everything here. So with all that said, if you have been checking out my YouTube channel, you know I've done a few reviews lately, and some of them have been really exciting, quite honestly, and we'll get to that. Also, in the meantime, in between time, please, if you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, hit that like button. If you enjoy photography, live streams and the podcast scene, definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Every Thursday, I'm going to be streaming. Again, I'm testing out this new time zone period at 5 p.m. Eastern. And if I need to go back to doing evenings, it's all good. Just let me know what works best for you to catch the live stream. So with all that said, go ahead, smash that like down below. And of course, this is a live show, so make your comments be known. Let me get my comments out here. What am I doing? There we go. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to post them down below. I definitely want to see it in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from, because I'm very curious. All right. I've been streaming for 5 years now. All right. So I'd love to know where you folks are coming from, especially now that I'm streaming from a different time zone. It's really interesting to find out. All right. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and follow me on all the socials. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, of course, Threads, TikTok, and I'm on X. Okay, I'm right there with Elon Musk, not with the same bank account, but we're posting on there anyway. Okay, let's see here. We got some interesting news. Let me turn off this banner real quick. We got some interesting news this week. Obviously, the Sony FX5 rumors are official in terms of its release, its announcement. It's supposed to be like July 22nd. I'm not a Sony shooter. I have tested out the Sony A7 V, had a fun time doing that. So I am curious to see where this camera takes Sony, especially with the rave reviews and honestly, fanboyism over the Sony FX3. I'm really curious to see where this lies between the FX3 and the 6, right? So, especially when it comes to filmmaking and everything, because I think there is how can I say, there's a lot of work that needs to be done for Sony to really live up to the hype. So we're going to talk more about that. Also, it looks like there is a slight rumor. This doesn't seem to be there's any truth about behind it, but we have talked previously about Nikon releasing a full frame compact mirrorless camera and with a fixed lens. And now that we're talking about on NikonRumors.com, or at least just bringing up really, are they going to bring back their DL series, which is like a 1-inch size sensor, fixed lens cameras that they once had back in the day? And are they going to revitalize that, resurrect it, if you will? So I would like to talk about that as well, because I would like to see a fixed lens compact camera come out of Nikon, but I'd be excited if it's full frame. Okay, 1-inch sensor, it's great and everything. You're getting close to being in line with the with Lumix's compact camera, and I think I don't know. I just think they should really try to push themselves to be something unique, stay full frame. That's what made the S9 so compelling for a lot of people, was that, yes, you did lose out a lot of things, but you also still kept full frame. You still kept that depth of field, low light performance, etc. out of that camera. And you can still use the same lenses on the same mount. So boom, bada bing, you don't need new lenses. But if it's fixed, that kind of solves that. But either way, I just think stick with full frame. We'll talk more about that, and I'd love to hear more about that from all of you out there as well. So we're going to get to all that. Real quick, I do want to, let me see. There's no real quick. Oh, here we go. Let me get to this. I'm sorry, guys. Of course, if you like this kind of stuff, feel free to become a member of this channel. Becoming a member of this channel actually supports this channel directly. Like, seriously, it really does. It seems like this is so easy to do, but it actually requires effort, time, etc. And supporting the channel really goes a long way. Despite the fact that Google takes 30% of the membership, the rest comes to me, and it really helps me to reinvest back into this podcast. Believe it or not, due to those who've helped me out in the past, I've been able to buy better lighting, microphone. I got a new interface right here. It's still Rode. I downsized it, but I got the Rode thing going on here. And that's because of all of your support. So if and when possible, feel free, become a member. It really does help out the channel. So thank you all very much. At least smash the like. That's $3.99. So there you go. All right, so let's see here. We got a J-Rod in the house. Hello there from Maryland. Awesome, man. Really good to see you. Yeah. New Nikon. I don't know new Nikon per se, but it was like a slight rumor. I think I see Nikon still heavily promoting the ZR. They're still in the ZR phase. I think the ZR is fantastic. I personally think when it comes to the ZR, they need something like in between a Komodo X and ZR, really fuse those two lines together. And that's something I'd be excited about for sure. And new Sony RX10 5 looks cool. Yeah, that I didn't get to check that out too much. I saw Tony Northrup drop a review, or at least commentary about it. I definitely want to take a look at it. I'm really right now in a space where compact cameras are very attractive to me for everyday casual shooting. Honestly, when I leave the house, if I am going to shoot, I'm thinking compact form factor. I'm not thinking about expensive, excellent performing glass all the time, because that usually means more weight, bigger camera bag, etc., etc. So I'm really excited to see what more compact cameras that are coming available for all of us to have, because truth be told, there's not one camera that rules them all. There just really isn't. It's like a camera bag. One bag is good for this thing, and this bag is good for that thing. And that's the way I treat my cameras. If I know I'm shooting video, I tend to lean toward Lumix, and it is what it is. I get fantastic photos from it. But if I'm leaning toward photos, I tend to lean toward my Nikon. And more cases than not, if it's casual, I'm grabbing the Z6 Mark III. But I'd even like a ZF, or even smaller than a ZF. That would be super fun. Nikon forever. Okay. Yeah. I respect that. Hey, I like the Nikon. I have zero issues, zero qualms with Nikon. It's very reliable. I'm using the Z6 Mark III right now to stream with, and it has a third-party lens on there. And guess what? Boom, it looks great. Okay, I have it at f1.8, and it's always been reliable for me. So if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I honestly would like a nice casual walk around Nikon camera. So that's why I remember when that full frame compact camera was talked about, like that really excited me, because that's exactly something I'd be interested in, as long as it stayed 1500 or lower. Okay, it doesn't need all the bells and whistles. It needs good photography, make it fun, fixed lens is cool, and that's what I'm excited for. I don't need to replace the Z8. I don't think many of us really need to, quite honestly. And if you have a Z9, you're good to go too. The Z6 Mark III is great, right where it's at. So I think something fun on the lower end, like I said, a fixed, like a compact full frame camera, something fixed, lens is cool, and then something in between a ZR and a Komodo X, something right in between there. That's where I think really a good place to fill a need. Yeah, Z8 II would be good and everything else, but I don't know what else we really need from the Z8 to be that much more outstanding for me to want to sell and lose money on my current Z8 to upgrade. Their latest zoom lenses, the version 2s, the 24-70 and the 70-200, those have been worth the upgrade. 100%. Those two lenses have been excellent upgrades. I've tried, as many of you know, I did the review on the 24-70 version 2. Outstanding, well worth it. And I hear the same exact response for the 70-200. But camera-wise, it's really hard to justify a lot of upgrades lately, quite honestly. Now, granted, I did get the Lumix S5, the Lumix S1 too, and compared to the S5, and I sold my S5 I sold my S5 too to get the S1 too, and that was worth the upgrade 150%. Okay, it just was. But like cell phones, you have to be careful. Just because it's the next new version doesn't mean like it's really worth upgrading. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. J Rod said, I was looking at the Yashica City 300, but wow, it's a cell phone sensor. Dang. I got to check that out, J Rod. I just did a sick water lily shoot yesterday and got a parking ticket. Oh, ouch. But I'm sure it was worth it. Sometimes you got to just take it on the chin. You know what I mean? I was filming 2 years ago. I was doing a short film, and I shot a beautiful scene in this like apartment we rented out. And I got a $90 ticket. Okay. It was a meter, and it was only like 15 minutes late, but they were on me. And you know what? It's part of the game. I get it. I have the OM TG7. It's very nice for walk around macro. See, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. I want to have fun with photography. Camera brands, like I think the next level for camera brands is it fun? And we talked about in previous live streams. I'm fine with the D850 and the 500 mil PF. Upgrading is just a luxury. You're not lying. It really is a luxury. I had to sell, guys, to get this camera, which is, I'm so happy I got this Lumix S1 II. Okay, let me show you my new overhead cam. I got a new overhead cam. Let's get to it. All right, let's get to this situation here. Okay, bam, overhead cam for y'all. Now, I got the when I got this Lumix S5 Mark II, I sold 2 old cameras and a lens. Okay, 2 old cameras and a lens to get this bad boy. And this got the 50 mil, the 50 f1.8 on here. And this thing is awesome. I mean, this camera, if you shoot video, this camera is awesome. I love this articulating tilt screen. If you got the, I think, well, they always had it since the S1H with Panasonic. But anywho, I love the capabilities. The autofocus is really, really good. And plenty of customization, false color internal, all sorts of stuff. I did a whole initial review and unboxing of this camera and shared why I bought it. Where'd you go? Right here in on my YouTube channel. That's okay. I thought I had the thumbnail, but you go check it out if you're curious about the unboxing. But I got that, but I sold 2 cameras and a lens to get it. I had to make sure I really wanted the upgrade. Like, seriously. I'm not flush with cash like that, but I did some plotting and scheming and selling, sold some blood, everybody needs a donation. Okay. So I went and I finally got this camera, but it was to solve a couple of problems within my video projects. And it did a great job. When I got it, it was a part of a real estate shoot I had for an agent. And we did a lot of video work and that camera crushed it. Okay. But doesn't mean I forget about the Z8. Actually, I took all the property photos with the Z8. All right, internally, externally, etc., except the drone shots. I did it all with the Z8. But when it came to video and recording the client himself and creating some content for his TikTok and reel posts and whatnot, Lumix, that's just the way it is. Okay, that open gate really helped me out. I know a lot of people hate the open gate, but it was a winner chicken dinner for me. TG7 internal zoom, all weather sealed internal zoom. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Wait a minute, TG7. Why do I know that? Hold on, TG7 OM. Oh yes, I do know that camera. Yeah, when I used to work at Mike's Camera, we sold a ton of these things. Okay, for those that don't know, let me help you out a little. Let me help you guys out. Share this tab. Boom, bada bang. Okay. This is what J-Rod's talking about right here. We used to sell a gang of these. People like this, especially for when they went traveling, because it fit in their pocket and it packed a punch and it's durable. So yeah, I can see why you like it. Okay. Let's go back to media. All right. Let me see here. I like that you Lumix X Luminix. I get to see info or something else. I just like Lumix. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. If you come to this channel, primarily you're gonna see Nikon, you're gonna see Lumix. That's just the way it is. Okay. My experience, I've tried other cameras. Canon is fantastic. Almost got me one time, but their glass is too expensive and that mount is too restrictive. So, but that C50, the Canon C50 is very attractive. I mean, it doesn't have internal stabilization, so that will drive me nuts. But everything else about that camera is pretty awesome. I like the form factor, everything about it. But I just don't like how strict the RF mount is. That's silly to me. Nikon Z6 III versus Sony Alpha A7 V. Which one would you choose? Oh boy. Well, here's the thing. They're both a couple years apart. I'm biased. I'm gonna say Nikon Z6 Mark III because so many cameras have came out since that release that I've never felt like I needed to upgrade it. It continues to do everything I needed it to do since the day I got it. It's compact, not that much larger than a Lumix S5 S1 II or S5 II. Really good with video, autofocus. That's what I'm using right now for streaming. And it's a reliable camera. It's great. So A7 V, I didn't see it do that much more for me to convert from a new system. Okay. Did I have fun using it? Yes. I was absolutely confused as heck with the menu system because I don't shoot Sony. So it'd be hard for me to give you an honest opinion between the two brands. I can give you a better opinion like, oh, Z6 Mark III versus Z8 or ZF or something like that. I can, because I've used all those cameras. So, or a Lumix camera, shoot, for that matter. I'm much more comfortable giving you my honest opinion about this brand too. Okay. So 24 megapixel, I can guarantee you take a picture with either one of them. No one will know the difference. And whoever's looking at it will probably say it's a great photo. All right. So shout out to both of them. That's the reality. When we take pictures, it's only us on these streaming podcasts that will complain about one brand's video quality. Well, not video, but a still image quality versus another. Most people will never know because they're used to looking at pictures created by a cell phone and calling it good. Boom. So it also depends on your budget. The Z6 Mark III is a pretty good budget, right? Let's check that out. Let's check that out. Nikon Z6 III. This is what we're gonna do, folks. We're gonna do versus Sony A7. Sorry, I'm getting over like a cold or something. Okay. Hey, look at that. AI. Boom, bada bang. All right. So you gotta, okay, here we go. Does it say price though? Does money share me the price? Okay. All right, cool. This is a good one right here. All right. Here we go. Big Ash 2-4. Here we go. Just for you. Yeah, just for you. All right. So we got the Sony A7 is about 33 megapixel. Okay. Has faster. Remember, this is has a partially stacked sensor in the Z6 Mark III. I can't remember if the Sony has one. It's a bypass sensor that gives you some cropping. Okay. So you have a little bit more resolution. Honestly, for $1,000 cheaper, I mean, for $1,000, you could buy a good lens. When I bought that's when I bought the ZF, but the Z6 Mark III, it's a great lens on a Z6 Mark III, the 24-120 f4 lens. It pairs so well. The balance is really good. It's a great all-around travel. That's the difference between the two cameras. That's the major difference. Nikon Z6 Mark III, you can still shoot internally, RAW. Okay, Apple ProRes, you got all that stuff. It's crazy. You have a lot of Kodak. You do have the H.265, which a lot of people complain about. But guess what? With Nikon, all of my YouTube videos are shot with Nikon H.265. So if you like the way the quality of my videos are, guess what? It's shot with the Nikon Z6 Mark III. So I'm going to have to say Z6 Mark III for the economic and powerhouse win when it comes to photos or video. So I hope that helps. A little ranty rant. That's what you came here for, some rants. So J-Rod says Nikon Z6 yeah, it would be a great camera body, a second body to the Z9, but I have the Z50. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is nice, especially if you do birding and stuff like that, J-Rod. You're 100% right. I like that my Z6 Mark III is my second body to the Z8. I love it. So, yeah. Yes, it is. It's a fantastic camera. Honestly, I think it's one of the best valued mirrorless cameras that Nikon has available today. There's always like a sale on it. You can find it refurbed or whatever on NikonUSA.com. You can find it, open boxed or whatever they call it. It's a great camera. You cannot beat it. It's full frame. It gives you everything you need, up to 20 frames a second. It's a great camera and plenty of video capability. Again, I'm streaming right now with the Z6 Mark III. So you can webcam with it. You do everything with this thing. And I'm just using a third party like f1.8 lens right now, and it works great. So yeah, I guess Z6 Mark III is the answer. Okay, so there you go. It is what it is. Whew. Didn't know I was going to get on my little rant here. All right, let's get to, in the meantime, between times, please, folks, make sure you go ahead and smash that like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, because I'm telling you, even though you subscribe, it doesn't send out notifications letting you know when I go live. I know this because many of you have shared that fact with me. So hit that bell icon so that you are more likely to get notified when I go live. All right. Let's see here. And if you have any questions or opinions, quite honestly, feel free, hit that live chat and share your opinion. Yeah, thanks. I'm hearing great things about the Z6 Mark III. It's gonna be my first camera. If that's gonna be your first camera, you will not be disappointed. I will put my gray hair on it. It will not be a disappointment. It'd be very hard pressed for me to ever want to sell mine. Okay. And I've regretted selling some Nikon cameras. The D500, regret. That was an excellent camera. The Nikon ZF. I regretted selling that camera so much, I made a dang video about it. Okay. So you can check that out on my channel. This camera, I'm not selling. There's no need to. It's great. And it's reliable. Okay. And it'll fit in any camera bag you got. Oh, look at the J-Rod coming in. $21.99 Nikon USA. That's a great buy. It's a great buy. Okay. Thank you, J-Rod, for sharing that. I still have my Z6. Ooh-wee. You're hard. I started off with the Z6. That was my first mirrorless camera. I sold, what did I sell? Oh, excuse me. I sold my I think D750 or something. I sold something and I got that. And then I sold my D810 to get the Z9. Okay. But I got the Z6. That was my first one in an adapter, So yeah, that brings up good memories. Autofocus, but thank God I didn't shoot wildlife or sports. It was fine for me. I was okay. I shot in studio with it. I loved it. But once you went to the mirrorless, for me, I couldn't go back. I was like, all right, I guess I'm all in. That's when I sold the D850 to get the Z9. All right. Nick says the only caveat is the used camera American. If I bought so many things used. Hell, I just bought this new interface from Rode, and it was refurbished from Amazon. It's working like a gem. So is open box. It is what it is, but I saved $100. So that is a win. Now, when it comes to cameras, if I buy it from another photographer, I feel more safe. If I buy it from a camera store, or if I buy it from Nikon USA, I'd feel more inclined to do that, especially from Nikon, because they're going to put it through its 50 point, test, if you will. Make sure it's good to go, because otherwise you're going to return it and their name will be in the mud. So if you are going to buy used, do that. If and when possible, buy brand new. That's the way I go. Okay, generally. I bought the Lumix S1 Mark II, brand new. I tried to buy it at 2 local camera stores, and they didn't even carry full frame Lumix. So I had to go to Amazon and make that purchase. Okay. But I tried to buy it from 2 local camera stores. They didn't have it. So yeah, that's the way I would do it if I'm buying used. Nikon USA. And sometimes they have that like really good deals. There was a deal they had and I didn't jump on it. I should have just fucking jumped on it. But anyway, I was looking at the finally getting the 14 to 24 f2.8. Okay, but they had some dang deal and I didn't jump on it. It is what it is. Let's get to the next thing of the show, please, folks. Let's go ahead and oh, by the way, I have my latest video right now about capturing headshots using LED continuous lighting. Okay, check out that video. Whenever I share some tutorial, it gets about as many views as the dollars in my bank account. Okay, that's not a whole lot. All right. So whenever I share some tutorial on how to and share some tips, all right, I don't know what it is, but if I talk about a lens, you guys go crazy. Okay. The views are 10x compared to when I talk about a tutorial or how to or share some tips. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. I think YouTube wants you guys to see more videos of products for you to purchase than actually learning photography. I swear to God, I think call conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it. Okay. I also, with that in mind about product pushing, check out this review. This one I did so differently. It is of an $89 lens from TT Artisan. They recently, it was a week ago actually, that they released this lens. I got it as a product embargo. It is awesome. It is awesome. I like to have the way I was able to do this review because hold on, let me get to this. I want to show you guys on my website here. Wait, what in the heck? All right, there we go. I really enjoyed doing this review, and I'll show you why right now. Let's go to my website, go to my blog. If you guys haven't known, you go to my blog. When I release a video, I usually release it on my blog here. When I go to my blog, guess what you guys can find? You can not only find the video, you can see the photos that I took that support or at least was showcased in the video. And look at, I went to Greenfield. Which is a great museum that you go check out right here in Dearborn, Michigan. And it's really awesome. I'm going to go back. I bought an annual pass. Okay. And look at these photos with this 50 mil f1.8 lens. I had so much fun shooting with this lens on my Nikon, I think Z8. But the colors, contrast, man, this thing it's a great lens. I don't care what anybody says. It's super lightweight. The photos you can check out for yourself. Okay. But it looks great. I was just casually walking around taking photos. I got complaints about taking photos of buildings as if that's a bad thing. So whatever. I like architecture. It fascinates me. So a lot of this stuff is really cool. And I love nerding out over history. But that's all I use. I use this one lens. All right. Let me show you if I can. Let's go back. I use this lens right here. Whoops. Of course, I got to check myself here. Look at this thing right here. Boom. All right. Whoops. Let me see if I get this autofocus action going on. This very small, let me take it apart. 50 mil, 1.8. The lens cap, or the rear lens cap, has USB-C port for firmware updates. But look how small this thing is. And I don't have large hands at all. Look how small that is. 51.8 for Z mount. Of course, it comes in E mount. And TT Artisan 50 f1.8. This thing it was so much fun. It fit right into my very small retrospective camera bag, retrospective shoulder bag. This thing kicked so much ass. It was crazy. It was super compact, discreet, and it was knocking off some sharp photos. I was really impressed. So feel free to check out my full review of this lens on my channel if you're curious about a $90 kick-ass lens from TT Artisan. All right. It's right there on my channel, folks. It's right there on my channel. What is this here? Going birding in the morning. Anyone want to get up at 4:20 with me? Ho! Jeez. Savage. And Nick comes in. Smart people research their lenses before purchasing. 100%. That's why I wanted to review this teeny little lens differently than I normally. Like, put myself out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone usually is grab a model, get out there and shoot, right? And then tell you guys how great this lens is while you're looking at a hot model. I wanted to just bring this. I thought to myself, if I had this lens and I bought this lens, what would I use this lens for? Because I already have a 51.2 Z lens. Like, can't really get better in quality than that lens. So comparing the two, like, head to head, doesn't make sense. I want to say, okay, I'd have this lens and choose this lens over a Z50 f1.2 because of what? Travel, compact. If it breaks, will I be upset? No, it's $90. Will I be happy with the results after taking my photos? Absolutely. So it's like, that's why I had so much fun with this lens. That's why I had so much fun. I was really scared at first. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh boy. All right, I'll check out this lens. But I think a lot of people can enjoy what that lens can do, or a lens like that at $90. It's like the Viltrox 28 mil f 4.5 lens. Like, you don't get it for perfection. You get it for fun. 420 is too early for the Hummingbird, J-Rod. Damn, 420, that's rough business. You won't, unfortunately, catch me. That is early, but oh, there you go. Now that makes a lot of sense. So I like architecture photos as well, but let's be honest, Robert, it's not the beach where you should be. Hello. Yeah. You're right. There's not a whole lot here in Michigan, I realized. To get to some, but there's plenty of water though, but there's not like beaches, right? A lot of parks, a lot of nature. It's a lot more green than California, that's for sure. So you're going to see a lot more nature. You're going to see a lot more stuff. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure out my footing here in Michigan. So first couple hours after sunrise are the best. Oh, I bet. Shoot. Even for a photo shoot. I have a big stack of TT Artisan manual lenses. Lots of videos to do on them. Yeah, make it happen. Honestly, I'm really today's stream almost was about China lenses. I think I might do that next week because I reviewed a few and I'm just so impressed with like what a lot of these China lenses are giving us as photographers, not only in terms of like compact size, etc., performance, and most importantly is price. $90. Not too many things you could get for $90 as a photographer that's worth a damn anymore. So it's really shocking in a good way, you know, truth be told. I would like a new Z-mount tilt shift lens. Ooh, yeah, that would be great for architecture. Until I get paid for such kind of photos, I'll stick with what I have, but that would be pretty cool. Oh, you got the 35? Ooh, very nice. That's awesome. I went to check out the new Viltrox Evo 35 f1.8 lens. I did test out the 55. That was cool. That was very interesting. And surprising how that extra 5 mil on a lens makes a big difference. So like going from 50 to 55. But it was a very good lens. So it does come in 35 and then comes in an 85 f1 2.0. So I'd love to check out those two lenses. So I'm going to try to nag them one more time to see if I can get my hands on that lens. I love a 35. I know some people don't, but I think 35 is like that sweet medium frame for portraits or for casual. So yeah, I like a 35. I found some pants that replaced the camera bag. Men's Dolo Flex Firehouse reflected fit cargo work pants. Whoa, what the heck? Oh, he said it can't fit. Okay. You gotta get yourself a small lens like this. You see, you gotta get yourself something like this teeny little thing. Okay. Just for those who are for those who want to know, what is the filter thread? The filter thread on this is 52. 52 millimeter filter thread. Super small, super compact. Okay. Super small, super compact. As I mentioned earlier, feel free to smash that like, subscribe. Believe it or not, they don't even show subscribers anymore. You ever notice that? So everything is changing so quick. I just turn on this thing and start streaming and start ranting about photography. So with that said, let's talk about the first bit of news. Let me get the news together here. Okay. Show this tab. And let's get to the news. All right, here we go. Okay, so straight from NikonRumors.com. Now, this was just 5 days ago on July 4th there, but it got me thinking: is Nikon resurrecting the canceled DL compact cameras? Remember this cameras? Remember this? It's funny because right now it'd probably be selling a lot. that's the funny part. This is kind of the form factor that a lot of folks like myself are itching from Nikon. Okay. My thing is I would like to see a full frame version. Just go for it. Screw it. That's my thing. But keep it fun and fix snap bridge. Like get it working awesome. And this would be a great fun camera. Now for 1-inch size sensor, could it still work? Sure, but it's just basically a great point and shoot camera. I think people would want more from that, from those that are currently shooting Z mount Nikon cameras. So that's why I said keep it full frame. This thing would be great. I know I would be looking at it because this is the kind of camera in full frame that I have been looking to use for everyday fun camera. And I want the autofocus to be as good as the Z6 Mark III. It can't go any lower than that. All right. Can't go any lower than that. Now, if it had a variable aperture, f1.8 to 2.8, let's just say hypothetically 3x zoom, like a 24-70-ish kind of a thing going on, would that upset you with a variable aperture? Would a variable aperture annoy you? Let me know. Would a variable aperture compact camera annoy you? I'd like to know. Nick says, I carried my 90 to 50 mil with me in the pockets. Ooh, that's cool. You must have large pants. Pause. You lowered the volume on your mic. I lowered the volume? Hold on. No, that volume is pretty up. Let me know about my volume, okay? Because I didn't touch it. That'd be very interesting if it lowered itself. But as I asked earlier, would a variable aperture compact camera be annoying? I'm going to say yes. That would be annoying, but I get why they would. But I hate that. Like, there's like Lumix is 20 mil to 60 mil, 3.5 to 5.6 aperture lens. It's their kit lens. I like that lens so much. It's compact, it's lightweight, it works well in a gimbal. I like the zoom range, but damn it, that's such a big difference in amount of light coming through that lens because of that variable aperture. I I would like a nice constant aperture on a fixed lens full frame camera from Nikon. That's just me. I could be wrong. Hey, look at that. Look who's here. Cooley's in the house. Good to see you, Cooley. What do you guys think about this new time? I hope this new time is working for you. Okay. Does this time work? Let me know. If 5 p.m. is a pretty decent time, Eastern Standard Time. Let me know. All right. When I use my 70 to 300, I always set it to 5.6. Okay. Oh, okay. So you see, you're being very intentional with it. Now, if it's in your pocket, it's more of a, hey, let me hurry up and grab a high quality photo, right? So, but I see where you're going with that. Nikon Coolpix A is still 500 plus bucks used, 16 megapixel. All right, that's pretty cool. I'll take a look. He said, I would love to see a compact full frame fixed lens camera from Nikon. I would too. Like, keep it super affordable, right? Something from $1,000 to, they're not gonna do $1,000. You'll end up with a lens cap and that's it. I would say, $1,200 to $1,500. Full frame, give us some fun features. You don't have to give us everything. And make sure that I can shoot decent video, but most importantly, make sure it takes excellent photos. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even care about the video a whole lot. 4K 60. That's it. Have a variable aperture lens, not a fan. Exactly. That's the way I feel too. A variable aperture would be a pain in the butt. It really, really would. It wouldn't make, I would start to think twice about it now. I would start to think, do I really want this thing? But where is it? But if they resurrect the DL compact cameras, remember that's a 1-inch size sensor, all right, with a variable aperture fixed lens. Oh, excuse me, variable aperture. What is this? This is zoom lens, right? A little zoom lens on there. What the heck are we looking at? Okay. Does this lens scream, ooh, I gotta get it? Is a DL compact camera series, does that make you want to get it? If it came back. I understand the reason behind like considering it, but I think they would miss the mark if it's not full frame. That's just me. Mushy mushy. Give it to a 24. Okay, let's see here. Give it a 24 or 28 mil f1.4 or 1.7. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See that now that's nice. If you keep it a fixed lens, if it's a fixed lens, no zoom, a 28 mil would be pretty badass. That'd be awesome. Yeah, 1.7, 1.8, 1.4 would be great. I think 100% that'd be fantastic. If it's a fixed lens, like a 28 or 35 or 30, something like that. 1-inch sensor tells me just get the Sony or Samsung phone. Ooh. Damn. Okay. Wow. I'm not, and I kind of feel the same way. What the heck happened? I kind of feel the same way that like if they end up with a 1-inch sensor, I think they will totally miss the mark. Full frame, I think will be the, how can you say, a neck turner, right? Like you'd want to pay attention at that camera. You may want to take a second look at it if it's full frame. As soon as they drop to 1-inch sensor, I kind of feel like it's 1995 again. Think about picking up 35 to 150. Oh, the Tamron? Are you looking at the Tamron? No, that's the 35 to 100. Excuse me, but that's a nice range. All depending on what you're doing with it, Cooley. Oh, I have to roll. See you next time. All right, J Rod, thank you very much. See you on the next one. Low blow. Hey, man, but I get it, though. I get it. For real, really. Like, what are you doing, Nikon? Like, why would you go back to a 1-inch sensor? Go straight hard in the paint, full frame, take away some features, strip it down, and give us excellent still photography focused features and keep it like that. And just make it fun with an awesome, amazing, functioning, reliable snap bridge. That would be worth it right there. And keep it under $1,500. What would be the price? If it's full frame, I'm thinking the price has to be under $1,500. It's as simple as that. Because you could get the ZF now for $1,500, truth be told. And that has an interchangeable lens mount, right? As a Z mount. So just get the ZF, and then you could change the lens, improve it with better glass quality, etc. So it'd be like product cannibalization. So it's got to be thinking about, what makes them choose a fixed lens, full frame compact Nikon over the ZF? Got to be that price. Knock it down at least $200 or so compared to what the ZF is offered now. I think the ZF, you get the ZF around 2000-ish, used 15, 16, 1700. So I would say $1,500. Boom, it would sell like hotcakes. Didn't Nikon make a small body that takes Nikon lenses? Yeah, the ZF, right? If you're talking about, I'm trying to think of like a fun, compact, carry around, have fun. Yeah, they have smaller bodies, but it's like, it's not like like a point and shoot style or like a retro style, fixed lens style. They're just a smaller, mirror Z mount mirrorless body style, if that makes any sense. Skibbity bop bamboo, like a DZ, what is it? The Z50 Mark II, Z5. You could get it smaller, but you're gonna lose a lot out there too. I wouldn't do it. Oh, the Nikon One. Yeah. Boy, now we're looking back at the time. All right, real quick, let's go ahead and talk about, let's check this out. This is the other thing I want to talk about, the main event. All right, which is right here. Let's all talk about it. Bam. All right. Sony, confirmed Sony FX5 announcement, July 22nd. Granted, this is from SonyAlphaRumors.com. Go check them out. The link to both of these articles that I mentioned in today's podcast are down below. All right. So for what it's worth, you can watch this video. I won't play it because it'll end up killing me and demonetizing my whole situation. All right. But you go check it out. This is what I wanted to talk about. All right. Obviously, what people are going to compare this to is the FX3 and the FX6 too. How well does it stack up against both those cameras? But this has been like the indie favorite for a long time, this FX3 right here. I think it's grossly overpriced and under-featured, in terms of camera features. I think they give you far too little for the price they are charging still today, like $4,000 or something. Let's check it out. Sony FX3 price, $4,300. Okay, you could get it between $3,898 to $4,300. That, my friend, is ridiculous. It really is. It just truly is. I don't care what anybody tells me. I don't care what kind of voodoo you're trying to put on me. FX3 is not worth that price. It just isn't. There isn't. Okay. So this FX5, and now let's look up the FX3. FX3 price, FX6, excuse me, price is $6,900. So $7,000. Okay. So 4,000 for the FX3, 7,000 for the FX6, the FX5. My prediction, okay, is going to float around $5,500, $6,000, something around there. Because that FX6, oh my God, this is crazy, bro. Like, there's just no way in hell. Is that with it? Oh, that's with a lens, $8,300 for the FX6. Okay. There is no way in hell would I. FX6, perhaps I've seen too many people like that, internal NDs, etc. But $7,000. I'm thinking this thing's going to be around $5,500 to $6,000 easy. All right, because they're not going to cannibalize the FX3. So a 16 millimeter megapixel fully stacked sensor. That fully stacked is going to be great. Okay, we don't need high megapixels for video. They want, performance and dynamic range is priority. Here we go. Fully stacked sensor. That's going to be nice. Built-in AI autofocus. We already know Sony's autofocus is pretty awesome. So it's going to be like the A7R6 for those who have tried that camera out or looked at it. Open gate, 5K, 3:2 aspect ratio. Okay. Open gate. I'm a huge fan of open gate. I'm on a team open gate all day. Now, my Lumix S1 Mark II does open gate 6K. All right, up to 60 frames or something. So it's a great camera. I freaking love it. And it cost, and I got it under $3,000. I got it for $2,898. It was on sale for 10% off, or 9% or something like that. So open gate, cool. That's great. They finally given Sony users open gate. People have been screaming about that. Triple base ISO is going to be great. That's really nice. I have never used, I enjoy dual base ISO with this camera and all my other Lumix cameras. It's really a winner. I did a short film that I'm going to be releasing soon enough last year that I filmed entirely in ISO 4000 due to the dual base ISO. No one was none the wiser. Okay. And I actually premiered it on a large screen in a theater and it looked great. So dual native ISO is clutch. So this has triple base. I'm really interested to see what that means. It does false color internally. So does the Lumix S1 Mark II. Venice style menu system for those who have it. Therefore, this is probably going to be an excellent B cam to that. External removable tilting electronic viewfinder. Okay, so it's probably sold separately then, maybe, because this is probably going to be more of a box style, if you will, kind of like this AI generated image right here. 3.5-inch fully articulating screen, and announcement July 22nd. So my whole thing, as I said earlier, I think this is going to be around $5,500 to $6,000 easy. I personally, if it wasn't for Sony's autofocus, right, I think a lot of it is, I think Sony overprices their cameras. I'll be just quite honest. I really do. I really think a lot of it is overpriced. I haven't fully sat with their system for years on out to see what the mega big difference is. But if I'm just looking at the numbers, looking at the specs and the cost, I just see too many other cameras giving you a few options more that will produce imagery that honestly no one would know the difference of. I think people, when they go to like when it comes to dynamic range, you can overcome dynamic range by properly lighting your scene. Now, that might be helpful to have a wider dynamic range for running gunning, right? Triple base ISO for running gunning and making sure you have the cleanest signal possible. Sure. But nothing beats proper lighting. I don't care what camera you have, proper lighting wins every time. That is it. Proper lighting, great composition, and a good story. Like, what are you shooting, right? Do people care about it? We'll beat all these things. I just don't. For six, if this is going to be around 5,500 to $6,000, I don't know. And again, I'm not a hardcore Sony shooter. That this is going to, I think it's going to attract a lot of indie productions, especially if you already have a Venice and you want something like, it's like buying an S1 Mark II and you have access to an ARRI camera, but you want the same color profile. Well, you could get that. You get the ARRI log. You get ARRI log in the Lumix S1 Mark II. So yeah, I'll get this as a B cam, just like I would get this as a B cam to a Venice, right? Use an FX3 for crash cam, but dang. FX3 still at $4,000. There's no way this camera is going to be cheaper than that camera. That's for damn sure. And they're not going to price it at a point where it would cannibalize the FX6, which is still extremely popular. That's why $5,500, $6,000 easy off top. I could be wrong. All right, that's my rant about that. Okay, I know I'm killing some of you. You probably don't come here for Sony, but honestly, Sony does push certain things to the next level, and it's wise to pay attention to what Sony does, especially since they are heavily involved with sensor making for other camera brands. All right. Truth be told, the S1 Mark II, I believe, had the same sensor as the Z6 Mark III, meaning they all got them from the same place. All right. It is what it is. Anyway, we are about that, at that time right now. I got to end this puppy. All right. So I'm trying to make it a hard 1 hour show here. Okay. Because it takes a lot of energy. I wanted you to make sure that I'm well rested so that next Thursday that I will be here ready to go. Oh, by the way, let me know down in the comment section or in the chat, does this time slot work for you? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Are you catching me at a good time? Does this work for you better than streaming in the morning? Okay, I tried that. A few of you kind of looked at me strange. It is what it is. But let me know if this time works for you. Yeah, that's a step up price from Sony. Exactly. Yeah, I think so too. Okay. I think that's a realistic price range for this kind of camera. $5,500, $6,000 seems very realistic. Anyway, with all that said, everybody, I really appreciate you all tuning in. Nick, Cooley, J-Rod, all my guys out there, thank you so much for supporting this. Of course, if you want to support more of this content, want to see more of it, please become a member of this channel. If not, it's all good. Just smash that like and subscribe to this channel for more of this kind of content. Thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate you and all of you guys. I will see you in the next one. Until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you for watching, everybody.